Hello and welcome back, my incredible AP Insight family. Abby Phillip here. Ladies and gentlemen, right on cue, as everyone anticipated, Donald Trump kicked off what we're calling Operation Epstein Distraction, teaming up with his close ally Benjamin Netanyahu to strike Iran for the second time in under 12 months. The commander-in-chief, who famously avoided military service himself, ordered a massive aerial assault on Iranian targets, and in the process, it has already resulted in the tragic deaths of 50 young girls who were simply in their primary school classroom. In response, Iran didn't hold back. They fired back with a comprehensive counterattack, hitting the heart of the U.S. Fifth Fleet's operations in Bahrain. That's the grim reality we're facing this Saturday. On the brighter side, though, Trump's aggressive move is already unraveling spectacularly against him, and the fallout is only set to intensify. I'm about to break down the overwhelming pushback against this conflict, coming from key Republicans on Capitol Hill right down to his loyal MAGA supporters, and naturally, from heads of state around the globe. So, if you're ready for the unfiltered truth, go ahead and smash that subscribe button now. It ensures we keep delivering the hard-hitting reporting and insights that mainstream outlets are too entangled in promoting endless conflicts and defense spending to ever touch. Let there be no confusion here. Trump ignited this confrontation purely as a desperate bid to cling to his position and shield the Republican Party from a crushing defeat in the upcoming midterms. He's banking on the idea that if Iran escalates by targeting a naval vessel or inflicting heavy losses on U.S. troops at a forward base, the public will unite in patriotic fervor, backing his calls for extraordinary powers to delay voting and extend his grip on the White House. That's why he delivered that stirring address to rationalize the entire operation. He spoke of potential sacrifices, acknowledging that brave U.S. personnel might fall in battle, as such tragedies are part and parcel of armed engagements, yet he framed it as a forward-thinking endeavor, one driven by higher purpose. He emphasized praying for each and every troop member who puts everything on the line to protect the nation, guaranteeing that future generations of Americans won't face the peril of a nuclear-equipped Iran looming over them. However, the moment those explosives hit their marks, a chorus of dissent erupted from within his own party in Congress, and even from the core of his enthusiastic following, demanding accountability like never before. At the forefront stands Representative Thomas Massie from Kentucky, who partnered with Representative Ro Khanna from California to put forward a resolution under the War Powers Act, aimed squarely at halting Trump's ability to prolong this military campaign. This wasn't some under-the-radar maneuver. It was bold and public. Picture this. Donald Trump has initiated hostilities against Iran. Lawmakers need to assemble back in session first thing Monday to cast votes on the measure proposed by Thomas Massie and myself designed to end this conflict. Trump has openly stated his aim is to overthrow the government in Tehran, but citizens across this country are exhausted by these endless interventions that drain trillions from our treasury and endanger countless lives. Nobody wants an all-out clash with a nation of 90 million in that volatile region. Every single legislator must declare their stance right away on how they'll vote regarding the War Powers Initiative from Thomas Massie and me. And make no mistake, Massie and Khanna aren't isolated in this effort. They've got company from fellow Republicans, including Ohio's Warren Davidson, who has publicly stated that Trump hasn't sufficiently justified the need for such forceful measures against Iran. Even more unexpectedly, they're backed by figures like ex-Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who shared a compelling clip along with her statement online. She expressed profound disappointment, noting that this wasn't the agenda she advocated for during her campaigns, nor the cause she contributed funds to, and certainly not what she supported through her ballots or legislative actions. The situation is devastating and sorrowful, she pointed out. How many more blameless individuals must perish? What about the safety of our own forces? This doesn't align with the vision we held for the Make America Great Again movement. It's a profound letdown. The conflict isn't resonating positively with his dedicated followers either, as prominent voices in the MAGA sphere are voicing their concerns across social platforms. For instance, a contributor from the Gateway pundit Cassandra McDonald amplified a cautionary message originally from conservative icon Charlie Kirk about the initial strike on Iran. He labeled it as utterly reckless, warning that pursuing a government overthrow would spark a brutal internal conflict, claiming hundreds of thousands of lives and sparking yet another enormous wave of refugees from Muslim-majority areas. Removing a head of state is rarely straightforward, he argued. It typically draws in deeper commitments, fosters division, and breeds disorder. We must stand firm against this path. Of course, it's likely that someone like J.D. Vance will step in to smooth things over with figures like Kirk, ensuring that organizations such as Turning Point USA stay aligned with Trump despite the controversy. And it's hardly surprising that international figures aren't endorsing this approach. To date, nations including Brazil, Spain, and Norway have issued swift denunciations of the actions taken by the United States and Israel, with expectations that additional countries will join in shortly. But simply introducing a war powers measure falls short of what's required. These unauthorized strikes have just claimed the lives of 50 innocent schoolchildren and left 60 more wounded. It's time for Democrats to move beyond discussions of congressional authority over military actions. They ought to ramp up calls for impeachment proceedings immediately. The goal isn't merely to restrain Trump, it's to oust him from office entirely. Meanwhile, we can all hold our breath for the moment when Barron Trump steps up to enlist in the fight. Surely he's heading straight to the nearest enlistment office at this very moment. After all, wouldn't that be the truly American thing to do? Isn't it, General Bone Spurs? This is Anthony Vincent Galalo reporting for Occupy Democrats. If this segment resonates with you, give it a thumbs up and join our subscriber list. Not only will you boost our visibility, but you'll also contribute directly to dismantling Trump and the broader MAGA ideology that propelled him forward. Now, let's delve deeper into why this moment feels so pivotal. Have you ever wondered how a leader who once promised to end forever wars could pivot so dramatically to starting one? It's a question that demands answers, especially when the stakes involve not just geopolitical tensions, but the very lives of civilians caught in the crossfire. Trump's strategy here appears calculated to exploit national unity in times of crisis, a tactic as old as politics itself. By framing the assault as a preemptive strike against a future threat, he's attempting to rally support under the banner of security. But is that enough to justify the immediate human cost? Records from the scene indicate the heartbreaking loss at that educational facility, where young students were pursuing their studies, only to have their world shattered by incoming ordnance. Iran's swift retaliation, targeting a key U.S. naval hub, underscores the risks of escalation, risks that could draw in more allies and adversaries alike. Turning our attention to the domestic backlash, it's fascinating to see how quickly the tide has turned, even among those who were once staunch defenders. Representative Massey's initiative, co-sponsored with CANA, represents a bipartisan effort that's rare in today's divided landscape. Why bipartisan? Because it transcends party lines to address the core issue of executive overreach in matters of war. CANA's public call for an urgent congressional session highlights the urgency. Lawmakers can't afford to sit idle while decisions of this magnitude unfold without oversight. His words echo a sentiment shared by many: fatigue from interventions that promise quick victories but deliver prolonged entanglements. Davidson's critique adds weight, pointing out the absence of a compelling argument for why now, why this level of force. Then there's Greene's intervention, which carries particular irony given her past alignments. Her video message conveys raw emotion, questioning the alignment between this action and the principles she believed in. It's a stark reminder. When policies deviate from expectations, even the most loyal can voice discontent. How does this play out in the broader MAGA community? Influencers are key barometers, and Kirk's reposted warning paints a vivid picture of potential consequences, a civil strife that could destabilize the region further, leading to humanitarian crises that affect global migration patterns. McDonald's amplification of that message suggests a ripple effect where grassroots voices amplify doubts. Internationally, the condemnations from Brazil, Spain, and Norway signal a broader diplomatic isolation. These aren't minor players. Their stances could influence others, perhaps leading to resolutions in bodies like the United Nations. What does this mean for U.S. foreign policy? It raises questions about alliances and the long-term credibility of American leadership. For Democrats, the path forward is clear: escalation in response. Impeachment isn't just a political tool, it's a constitutional imperative when actions appear to violate established norms. And the sarcasm directed at Barron Trump serves as a pointed critique of hypocrisy, leaders who advocate war but shield their own from its dangers. In closing, this is more than a news update, it's a call to awareness. By engaging with content like this, you're part of the pushback against unchecked power.